Good evening, folks. My name is Randy Smith. I'm on the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, and I am very privileged today to have this opportunity to interview our newest distinguished lawyer of Idaho, Mr. Howard Belodoff. I think this is one of the biggest privileges I've had in my career. I know I practiced against Howard, and he always gave me the business. And I know that I also had him in my courtroom many times. And to think that I have this opportunity to now interview him for this award that I believe all Idaho lawyers would want, because it's such a great award. And I am so happy for Howard and offer my congratulations as we begin this interview to one of the good lawyers in Idaho, one of those who I have such high regard, for whom I have such high regard, Howard. So Howard, now distinguished lawyer of Idaho, I guess I need to ask you a couple of questions. And my first question would always be, okay, you're here, you're a distinguished lawyer. What's your most memorable career achievement or accomplishment?
Well, thanks for those kind words, Judge. It's been an honor to appear before you over the years and work with you on occasion. It's hard to single out any achievements, but I'm just going to begin by saying that my career with legal aid, representing my clients and providing them with the opportunity to achieve equal justice is probably the biggest achievement that I think I've had over these many years, besides the individual cases in which I've represented clients. And after decades, it's hard to pick any, but I can say that there are a few that stick out. Recently, the Martin versus City of Boise case, which after 2 appeals recognized the fact that homeless persons had an 8th Amendment right not to be incarcerated simply for sleeping when they had no alternative shelter. That has made a difference throughout the United States. And so I would put that one up there. Another one that I've had, and I've had for over 40 years, is the Jeff D. case, which after 5 appeals, including an appeal to the United States Supreme Court, is attempting to and trying to provide community-based mental health services for children who have severe emotional disturbance and their families. We're trying to create a new system of care in the state of Idaho so these kids don't have to be institutionalized or hospitalized, and they could stay in their own communities. And finally, I would say that my work in the community house case versus City of Boise, recognizing under the Fair Housing Act that a men-only ordinance was discriminatory, and ultimately achieving a jury award of $1 million on behalf of that nonprofit for the city, what the city undertook against them. So those, in terms of cases, those seem to stick out in my mind. I certainly am thankful for the recognition that I previously received from other nonprofits, from the Idaho Trial Lawyers, and from the National Association of Legal Aid and Defenders, recognizing some of my work. So I guess those are the ones that right now stick out. I've probably forgotten some, but after these many years, that's my excuse.
So what's the most fun you've ever had on a case?
I was preparing a case, federal case in front of Judge McNichols on the right of access to the courts by inmates. And I was in the law library in the middle of the yard. And in July, very hot, a riot broke out, which basically the inmates took over the prison. And I was not in the middle of it, but I was there watching the whole thing through the windows at the time. And the inmates said, "Well, we need you to go and negotiate for us." And I said, "There's not a way I'm going to negotiate, because they'll never believe I'm here by coincidence." So I said, "Nope, I'm out of here." I got quote unquote rescued by the SWAT team, and walked out, drove home, got a call. I don't remember from who. "Well, can you come back and try to work with the inmates?" The inmates had taken some hostages. So I was involved in trying to get the hostages released and to calm everybody's nerves and feelings. You know, it was quite of an experience over 24 hours, and obviously the prison suffered substantial damage.
I still think it'd be worthwhile for you to kind of lay out the kind of areas of the law in which you practice.
My cases always fall under the umbrella of civil rights cases, whether it's 42 USC section 1983 for state actors under color of state law violating the constitutional statutory rights of individuals, or discrimination based on housing or gender or familiar status, racial and religious discrimination, which are unique. But the foundation of all that is understanding the practice of law, both substantively and procedurally. And most of these cases obviously are brought in federal court.
So we're at the end of this interview. And so is there one last entertaining story or one last thing that you'd like to say from early in your practice or later that you'd like to give us as we quit?
Well, I have to say one other thing. I wouldn't be able to do anything without the support of my family, my wife, Kathy, all my children, and all the colleagues at Legal Aid that I've had. They have been great. And many of you know them in your communities, and if you don't, you should get to know them. They are the best of the best. So that's how I would end it, Judge.
Well, I will say this. I remember when I was a young lawyer, and Wes Merrill from my firm, senior partner at Merrill & Merrill, was nominated and put in as a distinguished lawyer. We thought that was the greatest, most memorable moment for him and for the whole firm, that would happen. And now to think that my friend, Howard Belodoff, who has practiced against me, we've knocked heads and served on committees and practiced in my courtroom and done such a good job, even under my examination many times, to say, come on, Howard, come to the party, as I saw it. And to see that guy, who is such a good man, is given this award is one of the great things of my legal career. I am so impressed with you because of the background you have, the experience you've had, the place you have made your niche, not in a big firm, not as a prosecutor, not as a public defender, but in the niche you've had, and to do as well. and that you'd give me this opportunity. That was a tremendous, tremendous privilege to me. And all I can say is congratulations to one of the good guys. God bless.
Well, thank you, Judge, and you're one of the good guys too.